Hi everybody, I'm Hayley.
And I'm Kayli.
And this week, we're reviewing Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Kayli, thoughts?
On your Cuckoo?
No.
Oh.
That was perfection. We don't need a review on that.
You're right. So this movie is starring Hunter Schafer, and it's about her going to Germany. I think it was in Germany. And weird things happen at the resort that she's living at, working at, both, especially to her younger sister. And then we get these like time loop situations where they do the same thing over and over and over again. Who can't relate to that? Right. So Hayley, what were your thoughts? What did you think?
I like this movie.
Wow.
I thought it was interesting, entertaining. I mean, I don't think it was a perfect movie. But I really enjoyed this movie. I went in really skeptical.
Oh.
Because I just felt like with the preview, I don't know, or the trailer, I was not impressed. I feel like we've seen a lot of like thriller horrors lately, and they've just not been hitting. So I'm like, here we go, another one. Which I feel like we have so many of these horror movies out now. Like it's just back to back. We're not even close. I mean, we're getting close to Halloween, but like all summer, it's been nothing but that. But anyway, I feel like I've been let down. But I liked it. I thought it was intriguing. I thought this story was interesting. I felt for Hunter Schafer's character. You know, her mom had passed away.
Yeah.
And it was just she's struggling with her dad and her stepmom. And, you know, so I liked it. What about you, Kayli?
I also... Okay, I think I liked it.
Okay.
But I've noticed this trend among movies. I can't speak, forgive me. I watched Long Legs, obviously. We talked about her. I saw this other movie called I Saw the TV Glow, and this one. And I feel like they all have a very dreamlike quality where it's like, what did I watch? It's been a week since we've watched this movie, and it's kind of hard for me to like remember what happened.
It was a lot.
It's
not a lot, but
it's giving like almost like it's dreamish quality of it. It's like a dream horror movie where like you have a nightmare and you can kind of remember like the highlights. Like I think there was like some weird noise that happened in time loops, but like most of it's worn off by the time I'm ready to talk about it.
okay.
So that's why I'm like unsure if I really, really loved it. I do think this is going to warrant a rewatch. Same with Long Legs.
I think so too.
And I really did want to rewatch it because I felt like so much was going on that I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I was a little lost, a little confused. But speaking of Hunter Schafer, when she hit her head on that glass and like shattered the glass and like also her face.
Oh, when the car accident?
Not the car accident. When she was running away from the Cuckoo.
Oh, at the hospital.
Yes. Whenever that happened, it was like silent and like somebody in the movie theater was like, damn. Because of the
Not to turn into a comedy.
Bro, we all started cackling whenever that happened. Because
Man.
just the impact of her head bashing into the glass was a lot.
It was intense.
It's very
I was like, damn,
intense.
she was running.
No, she was fearing for her life.
I get it.
Because
that woman that
what
was
the fuck?
chopping.
Girl, you must be chopping because I'm on a bike. And
No, she's casually.
in
You
my
gotta
moment,
put it in gear 6 and go as fast as you can.
But I think it is interesting that we're having like two Cuckoo moments this summer. We had Long Legs, which is also talking about the Cuckoo. And now we're having Cuckoo, which is talking about the Cuckoo.
Yes.
And we talked about the bird before where it's like, does this thing where it lays its eggs in other birds' nests. And I read more into it because like the director of this movie, he like watched a documentary about the cuckoo bird. And that's why he's like, God, that's awful.
Isn't it horrifying?
Learning more about it, it's like, so basically the baby kicks out all the other birds
Does
out of
it
the nest.
throw them out or it starves them? Because I saw somewhere it like takes out because it's a bigger bird.
It is a bigger bird.
And it can like push other baby birds out, or
Yeah.
it like just takes all the food from the mom
Yeah.
and the other ones starve.
That's horrifying.
Insanity.
It's horrifying. So I can understand why he would want to make this into a horror movie because it is awful.
So yes, I think that the police officer, what's his name we're going to give him? Because I can't remember. Tom. The younger police officer who was with the girl who worked at the lobby. What's her name?
I think it was Beatrice or
Yes.
Beatrix.
Once that whole situation didn't go through, the main evil guy.
I think it's like Cohen.
I'm not a good person.
It's
okay.
it's Konig. Cone.
Mr. K. So that Mr. K reprimanded him for messing it up.
Right.
So I think that, and the police officer was there in the beginning, and then he also was telling Gretchen.
Yeah, Gertrude.
Hey, we're gonna leave the part out about the woman, because like he's in cahoots. So I think he was meant to be in that honeymoon suite. Mm-hmm. And I do think at some point he didn't want to be there anymore, because he was trying to leave. Remember? Yeah. So I think he was gonna end up like trying to run and go, but because that didn't work out. And he kept looping, and then the other people came through, and there was a whole bigger deal. But I do think that he does love Beatrice and wanted to run away with her and just get out of there, and didn't want her to get impregnated. But I think that he couldn't. So,
because this was what I was thinking, or what I understood from the movie, is that this was like Beatrice's plan, like to surprise him. But she didn't understand that this was a dangerous spot for them to be in, which is why he was like, girl, we got to go. Like, put your clothes on. Let's go. That's why I didn't know if this was like a part of the plan or not. It seemed to me like it was like a mistake, and that the guy was like Mr. K, was like just trying to capitalize on a mistake that already happened.
Okay. Because I was under the impression that it was planned and that he decided that he didn't want to do it. And then that's why he was trying to leave. But then Mr. K was like, you messed up the whole thing.
Yep.
Because it looked like the woman was ready. Unless she just runs around all the time. I don't know if he releases her or not. It seems like she just runs around.
I don't really understand either. Because he seems to have like some control with the flute to attract them in a way. But other than that, I don't really know.
Maybe we don't know. But either way,
I was confused with that.
I think they would have gotten Beatrice back. If that makes sense. Like that would have been that. The first girl, they just kind of kidnapped her. Yeah. Right, in the very beginning. So I'm like, obviously they're going to have her. No, she was the baby. She was this, so she was around. So it did seem like he's going to go get the babies.
Yeah, and bring them back somehow.
And bring them back and then make them breeders. That's why he was testing the breeder out, the new breeder, if you will, on Gretchen.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's his thing. And he just wants to preserve them and keep them around and keep his little resort. But I'm so sorry. Them grabbing that goop. Insanity.
No. When I kept seeing, I was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know what that is. And then it happened again. I was like,
well, the first time it was spit. And I was confused. I'm like, what is she spitting out? And I was like, oh.
Her love juice.
Juices. But don't you have to put an egg pretty high up? You know what I mean? Like, because the man part can swim, but the egg needs to be like past the cervix. That's crazy. Unless it moves up itself. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't mimic.
And then does it like smack the other eggs out the way? And the fact that it takes DNA from the mom, or does it like join the egg? Because
but see, that's what I don't know.
DNA, because they mentioned that the DNA or the egg will take some DNA from the host so that it looks like the host.
But that's what I thought they weren't saying. See, I feel like also I was really struggling with the accents, and I really, really needed subtitles. I was struggling so hard with some of this movie. But that's why I was like, I thought they were saying it's amazing that she looks kind of like the mom. I don't think they were expecting it, because I wonder if like what the DNA that it shares is the dad's, because it is the honeymoon suite. So maybe they have sex afterwards, and so theirs is the egg, and it like passes as the egg, and they use the semen from the father. I don't know. I really don't understand how this cuckoo happens.
I thought they were saying it's amazing what it can do. Like I thought they were saying it more of like as a kudos to the species. Like it's amazing how she looks like the host mom, and how they're able to disguise this child as their own. Yeah, because it has to be a more advanced version, because obviously birds can't see it's not their baby. They just know it's in their nest. Yeah, but like a human
will know, is gonna potentially know.
I mean, this child is half white, so you might be able to get away with that. But it seemed like it took damn near all the genes from the mom.
But also, it
was compensated.
It was because like the mom that we know of like doesn't look like that. So that's what, I don't know. Like not the human mom, but the cuckoo mom. She doesn't look like that.
No, so I think that's what it does. It disguises at least, because it has the DNA from the dad, but then it disguises. It has to at least look like the mom at least. Yeah. You don't have to look like the dad, because you can maybe explain that away. Maybe
cheating.
But if your baby comes out and it's a whole nother race.
Yeah, I don't.
And you do some DNA testing and you find out that it's not fully human, and they're like, there's some other DNA in here.
Yeah.
Ancient DNA.
And speaking of like the parents, I was like a little confused at first. I thought maybe like they were in cahoots, kind of like, they knew like something was going on.
I feel like the dad must have known, because at the end the stepmom was like, something's wrong, I want to get her out of here.
Yeah.
And he was like, she like knocked out, started being really sick. He's like, let's just go home. I'm like,
Yeah.
Are you in on this?
And also, like, the way he was treating Gretchen was diabolical.
Weird. He's doing too much.
It was awful. Because I'm like, y'all just want her to run away. Why'd y'all take her here anyway?
Maybe he did. Because remember they said that Gretchen was taking away resources from Alma, which is why the creature lady was trying to come after Gretchen because she wanted her out the way because she saw her as like
a threat to her child.
To her baby's development. So I think that's why maybe the dad didn't care. If we're going to say the dad knows, which we don't know if the dad knows or not.
Right.
Unless I go back and find that somebody found some hint. But if he does know, that would make sense because he clearly doesn't give a hoot.
At all.
Why he brought his daughter out here, I don't know. I feel like he didn't have to bring her out here, but maybe legally.
Sold the house, all sorts of stuff.
That was crazy. Sold the house and then took her here and was like, sorry about your mom.
And also, like, she's in a car accident. I understand that she was running away with a stranger, which was crazy.
She needs help. She's crying out for help.
Exactly. But for him to be like, I gotta go.
Like,
I'm in the hospital, bitch.
She's like, you're fine.
He's like, there's people here. She's like, no, there's not. That's not my family.
Yeah. It was just like so much. He wanted to get rid of her too. Yeah. I'm like, something's up here.
That's why I was like, maybe it's about like this whole cuckoo thing, like kind of does something for the parents to like abandon their actual child.
Like some kind of pheromone or something.
Right. In order to take care of their child.
Yeah, maybe. That could be it.
But I feel like there's so much about this cuckoo stuff that I wasn't really understanding. And then there's like that tension at the end with the research facility and Mr. K, we'll call him, where he's like, where's those documents, blah, blah, blah. Like, it seemed like they were doing stuff behind his back, but I wasn't really sure what was being done behind his back.
Yeah, it seemed like they were keeping logs because the scientist lady seemed like she was really into her work. And it sounds like she was saving some of the research for herself. Whether or not she's going to expose him or not, I don't know. But it seems like he at least knew about it, was like, these are supposed to be classified, you work for me. But she seems to be, I mean, she was very excited. She's clearly talking about the work. So I took it as she just started taking stuff for herself.
But didn't she do something during that conversation where it was like she mimicked something, like they said something? I don't remember what it was. God, see, this is what happens when it feels like a damn nightmare. But like I thought like she like mimicked something to make it look like maybe she wasn't completely human either. Like she was doing something. I forgot. Damn. See, I need to rewatch.
Gotta rewatch it.
But yeah, I was like a little confused as to like was it never like planned for the kids to meet their biological or like the cuckoo mom? Like was that not a part of the plan? Like
I think it was a part of the plan.
But it was just that's why I was confused. I was like, what are we upset about? Like what are they hiding? I thought
they were upset because
tension.
They were freaking out about the detective getting loose or something. Because didn't he roll up and they thought he died? Because remember, they came to the hospital and they shot him. So I think he came up, realized the other two were on the loose. And that's why he was basically like, shut this down.
Well, yeah, but shut this down and then I kill you. Like, it was like, that's the part I didn't understand is why he killed the scientists that were working for him.
I think maybe he realized, maybe he knew for a while they had betrayed him. He got shot and he's like, you know what? You betrayed me. And they were kind of being hesitant, whatever he was asking them to do. And I think he was like, basically not freaking out, but I took it as like, he realizes everything's in jeopardy and he thinks they're going to sing. So he's like, I gotta get rid of both of y'all because you can't even be trusted. Y'all already have stuff there. Now I got to go over there and delete it. Now I got to kill y'all, hide your bodies. Now I got to kill the other two people running around. So I took it as him going kind of crazy. Like I have to preserve everything.
I see.
Kill everybody. Yeah. So, because he couldn't trust them.
Yeah. But I felt like, I don't know. There's just so much being thrown at me all at once. And I was like kind of slightly confused. And
it wasn't like, confusing.
It was just like a lot being thrown at us and a lot of imagery and a lot of, it was just kind of a lot, which is fine. But I felt like, especially like I've realized that I depend on subtitles for my life.
I think it has made me dumber because instead of listening, I just read.
I think so. Like my ears are not trained to catch words anymore. I feel like I'm like, bro, I'm lost half the time.
Do you ever rewatch a movie with subtitles? I'm like, that's what was going on?
For real. I was like, oh, this changes everything.
I missed the banter. I missed that joke. I didn't even hear what he said.
It's like there's so many things, and so like especially with them having the German accents too, I was lost. I was like, I don't really know what the fuck's going on, and so I feel like next time I do want to rewatch it, and I kind of want subtitles. Okay.
Yes.
The one thing I think was a little bit cheesy was the end.
Well, I don't understand why she didn't get the stepmom. I didn't like the ending very much. I like how she's protecting her sister now and accepting her.
And I liked how like
But
I liked how she was trying to like make it look like she's going to kill her to, you know, protect them from the Cuckoo. But then obviously Alma took that wrong. She's like, "Bitch, you try to kill me?"
She's like, "I'm not going to hurt you."
I like that part where it was like confusing for the little girl.
It was realistic because you feel like in real life that would be confusing. But in movies, it's always like they never touch on that. And you're like, okay.
At all. And then like when she goes up to the Mr. K guy and then she's like, "Oh, he's here to save me." And then he pulls up a gun. She's like, "Good God." Like, so I like that part. She was going through it for real. But I didn't really like.
I don't like the ending.
The standoff ending. And like, I understand what they were going with. Like the guy was like, "We have to get rid of everything." And the other guy. So the police officer that's no longer a police officer was like, "We have to get rid of all of them because they're dangerous." And then Mr. K was like, "This is my experiment."
My artwork, yeah.
Right. And so he's like, "We're not getting rid of them." So I understand why that kind of happened, but it looked goofy.
It was. You could tell they were both madmen at the end.
Right. Because at that point, I just start shooting.
Honestly, we're all going down.
Right.
But why did Gretchen, remember kind of she went around the corner and was like, "Did you tell your wife you were going to protect her?" Why did she say that? And
I
then
don't
he got mad?
either. Was it trying to throw him off? Like, it was just like a weird thing to say.
I was like, is she trying to rile him up so that he'll
go off and kill the other guy?
Kills the other guy, but then why would he not just
I don't know.
Kill you? Or is she trying to make you see like you said you were going to protect her but you didn't, so let us go? I don't know, but that part threw me off. I'm like, I'm not really sure why she was making
what
him
the
mad.
Motivation was.
It seemed very disrespectful for her to say that. So I'm like,
He's
what was the reason?
Bitch, I was trying to help you.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say the ending was a little bit like okay, but I think I just like the concept so much. I was just like la-di-da-di-da, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But the ending, I was like, she's not going to go to her stepmom. I thought we were going to wrap up the parents, the step-parent, her stepmom and dad.
Hoping that was going
and maybe
to
there was
play.
a final, because it seemed like she's going through some kind of character development. So I think it'd be really nice if at the end she's able to maybe stand up to her dad.
Yep.
Not prove her worth, but prove I'm not some just girl who doesn't care about anything. I saved my sister.
Yep.
What were you doing? And then maybe it's revealed the dad knows. I don't know. So I feel like we did miss something there, especially because the poor stepmom, she didn't seem like she was in it. She seemed like she started freaking out because she knew something was off because whatever. Mm-hmm. So I wish we got a little bit more of that. And was the little girl having seizures because the mom was screaming in her ears?
I think so.
And because they kept saying they kept alluding it was due to stress. So I'm like, did she just get scared? Or is it because she's near her mom? She's just, her body is like developing and changing and like,
I think that's
whatever.
what it was. And then like they're talking about like, don't listen to music. Like they wanted her to be used to that call.
Yes.
So I think that's what it was.
Maybe what it was.
But
also doing this should not
cancel that out.
Or like,
right.
Sorry, her screech. Like you need some serious earplugs, maybe.
Right.
So that was a little jokey joke.
What is it called? The wired headphones.
Yeah, the like old Apple.
Ain't nothing. That's not doing nothing.
Plasticky.
I can hear everything with those.
That sounds like I get what you're trying to do, but it was a little silly sometimes. Like her blasting the rock music, maybe.
Yes.
But the other stuff
didn't make any sense.
They just like put their hands over their ears and they're
but
like,
also
I'm good.
That's what I'm confused with too, because whenever, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that she had on her headphones whenever the little girl was going through her seizure the first time, or was she not? She did.
Or she was like playing guitar but had it hooked up and she was like,
right. But then she was still trapped in the loop, unless she took them off and that's why she was trapped in the loop. Because that's what I was kind of confused with. I thought maybe,
or was it the little girl's loop?
Well, that's part two, but they weren't trapped in the guy's loops whenever whenever Alma did her call and had the guy stuck in a loop.
That's because she had her hands over her ears.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. I might be wrong. Maybe she might have taken them off. I don't remember completely, but yeah.
I feel like at some point she did because she was like, are you good? And
right.
then immediately took them off. And I think it reset.
After that.
So maybe if she did take them off, if not, I was kind of confused. I was like, maybe that was the daughter's loop or Alma's loop.
Yeah.
But
it was weird. I did think it was a very interesting take, or like a very creative decision to have these like time loops where they're kind of stuck in this. It was visually very odd and in a good way. I thought it was pretty cool. But the ending, like I was reading like the director's stuff and how he was like, this is about, that trauma and family and generational trauma, and also like a coming of age thing with Gretchen's character. And I feel like what we were talking about just a second ago with the stepmom and like the dad, And that drama, like, I feel like that was never really addressed. And like the only like familial trauma that was addressed was her not ever claiming Alma as her sister.
Yeah.
And that was what changed. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's why I said,
and
I feel like
she runs off with a stranger.
The parents at the end.
Yeah.
But honestly, why would the woman, I was just thinking about this now, when she's running away with the stranger the first time, why did the monster go after her? Wouldn't she be glad that she's leaving? Unless she just doesn't understand the concept of her leaving. But I was like, she's literally about to leave. I thought the guy sent the woman on her. Maybe he did.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he didn't want her to go.
Why?
I don't know.
Because he literally was talking about how you're in the way.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally leaving.
Yeah.
And then he kept her for an experiment. So that was odd.
I don't really understand because I thought what was going to be revealed was that was her dead mom, was the cuckoo.
Oh.
I'm
super twist.
Right. I'm kind of glad that's not what happened.
No, that'd be a little bit too much. Like,
yeah, but that would make more sense as to like why Gretchen was even involved in the first place, because really this is all about Alma because she's the cuckoo's kid. But there's like an obsession with Hunter Schafer's character with Gretchen and the cuckoo, and I really don't understand why.
I mean, I got that in the sense of she wanted Gretchen to be out of the picture for resource purposes.
Yeah.
If she's going to be like primal about it, but I didn't get the Mr. K's kind of weird obsession almost. Yeah. And then if she was truly leaving and getting out of town, unless Mr. K sent the cuckoo after her, or if the cuckoo just didn't know she was leaving and just thought she was out in the open, she's coming to get her now.
Or maybe it was, I don't really know.
I have no
I don't
idea.
know.
I mean, I get it because I think they said that Gretchen wasn't supposed to be there. That's why when she got there, Mr. K was like shook. She wasn't part of the plan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I get that. But if she's going to run away, unless he did want to keep her because eventually, or maybe he didn't want her to leave because she could be a witness or she could come back or she could do this. She's a loose end maybe. And he's like, I can keep her and put her in the little torture room.
I don't really get it because like I thought maybe there was like a kind of like a span of where like the cuckoo could go, and maybe it's more about like at the houses or whatever. But like, she was in the middle of the road and like she was chasing her to the hospital, and it's like, I know that these things are in close vicinity, but it's like, how come that's not stopping the cuckoo from breaking into people's homes and just inseminating them? Like, I just don't understand like the bounds or the reach of like the cuckoo and why it does what it does. Like I feel like we didn't really talk about that.
No, I guess I just assumed that Mr. K had like
controlling
raised her or does have some kind of control over her, so that it's very like methodical with the honeymoon suite versus just anybody.
Yeah.
But I think that it also, the cuckoo has a sense of where she needs to put her children. So it's not like she's going to break in and just inseminate any woman. It has to be like the perfect storm, if you will. And since Mr. K keeps providing her with the honeymoon suite, I feel like that's probably where she keeps most of her time and attention. But who knows? I don't know I don't know the level of the intelligence. I don't know
anything.
How much because he has a little fiddle, but it doesn't seem like the cuckoo, at least the OG cuckoo, is being controlled within a space. Because I think the offspring was the one from the very, very beginning and the one that was attacking Gretchen, even though she didn't really want to. She seemed like she was kind of confined.
Yeah, but it also didn't seem like she was completely under control. No,
it was like she hadn't been either fully turned. I don't know if you're human and then being near the cuckoo starts to turn you into your primitive or your more, the more animalistic side of yourself. Because I think that was the theory that like if Alma is away from her mom and grows up, she'll pretty much just be human.
Oh, well, that's good.
Because that's what I think. Because at the end, he was like, she's going to turn. She's like, I don't think so. Because they were saying how she needs her mother during that age in order to, what's it called? Develop and keep her skill and keep everything going. She has to be near her. So that's why they're trying to have them connect and slowly get together so she could finish her, I guess, transformation. But I think if she's not with her, she just kind of flatlines and just stays human. She just can't talk.
Interesting.
So I don't know. But since she released her voice at the end, I don't know if that kind of kickstarts anything or if she's going to have any issues. We'll never know.
Start inseminating folks? I don't.
Literally, you're really waking up.
Understand.
Your man's over and she's like, this is the perfect time.
Right.
Hunches over and like, get up.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of similar to like It Follows, where it's like it has like an interesting premise, but then like the more you think about it, it's like, what are we talking about?
Don't think about it too much.
For real.
That's why it was just like an idea. And I was like, I've never seen this type of idea before. Which or like the way that it went.
Yeah.
I did like how I didn't really know where it was going.
At all.
I appreciate that. Like, it wasn't kind of like a cookie cutter. Okay, this is happening. This is happening. This is happening.
Yeah.
I think that it was acted well. I think Dr. Schafer did a good job. She made me feel really... Is that how she acts in Euphoria? I have no idea. Like, do you feel like it was a similar character? Or do you feel like
not really.
Okay.
I feel like really Jules' character, or Jules in Euphoria, is more like happy, carefree, go lucky.
Okay. Because this character was like very depressed.
Well, I might be wrong. Please don't come for me. I'm not a big fan of Euphoria. Sorry. Anyways.
I just didn't know. Because, you know, I appreciate when, like, I can tell, like, artists, or I guess they're artists in a way, right? Actor, when they do well about, like, switching to the different characters.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I thought she did a good job. And I thought Mr. K, he's been in a few things. I should know his name. But I thought he did good being kind of creepy. Yes. Yeah. He did a good job. So I thought for that part.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting idea. But I felt like there were so many things that were happening. Like, she gets kidnapped and you think that she's going to be trapped there for a while. Then she escapes. Yeah. And then she goes to the hospital. And it was just like a lot happened in a short amount of time.
This would be a good show.
I agree.
You think, like a short series?
Because that's what I feel like it needed to be expanded upon a little bit. Because it was just like, there's so much being thrown at me at once where I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. I feel like it. I agree with that. I
needed time to breathe.
There were things I wanted to know. Maybe a little bit more lore on the background of the monster, or the...
How did we come across
ancient creature species?
How did you not die? Like...
Yes. Maybe more in his psyche. And I felt like the doctor... We find out she's really interested in it, but she doesn't seem as evil as Mr. K. So I feel like knowing more about her.
So in the bathroom, when Gretchen was in the bathroom and there's somebody like banging on the door. In the very beginning. Was that the Cuckoo or was that the doctor?
I think it was the Cuckoo because the shoes.
Okay.
I
thought the shoes were the doctor's, which is why I was very confused. But you know what? I think
it was the Cuckoo. Okay. Why she didn't scream then and there? She was like, I just want to talk. Joke's on you, I can't. So, but... I do agree. I think it was kind of a lot at once. And I wish the detective's character, like, I feel like he seemed like he was going to be a very important character. And then I think he became a bit silly. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like, he obviously had a very tragic backstory. I feel like he had a lot like a lot of trauma, and he had a very specific goal. He wasn't violent enough for me. I feel like he needed to be like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I'm going to shoot not shoot everybody, but I feel like I wish his character was a bit more intense. Yep. Like, even when Gretchen came out and was at her sister, I feel like his character should have let the chop, like, it should have been a lot more like, I don't care. Like, whatever happens, they can't get loose. Yep. It was a little too like, I said I'd protect you. And I get that because, you know, he didn't protect his wife, but I feel like his character did become a little bit, it didn't go where I thought that he was going to go with what he'd been through. He's injured. This is his goal. He's finally uncovered everything. He already killed one little girl. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, to me, his character needs to be like, I'm all in. Unhinged. Because they're not human. You know, when you start to get in your head, they're not human. You know, this is bad. My wife died. So I feel like he need to be more unhinged. I agree. And then he kind of just poof. Yep. So I think that if there was like a short series, you would be able to truly understand, unfold characters a bit better. I agree. Including the parents, who we just disappeared after that last hospital stay. It's true. Including her background with her mother. I don't know. Yeah, and I didn't know if it was supposed to be like a mystery that her mom was dead, or it was like, I know she's calling her mom. It was just like, there's so many little things that were happening. I was like, okay, like, it's like whenever I'm trying to figure out what I really witnessed, it's like, there was a lot that happened. There's lots of process. But also like not a lot at all at the same time. It's like we learned little tidbits about things, but not enough for me to understand like the full picture. Piece that puzzle together. Yeah. So I don't know. But I am intrigued. Apparently this isn't his first movie. He made another one that's also like a thriller mystery. Yeah. So I would be interested in checking it out. Mm-hmm. Okay. It came out in 2018. It's just a little... I'm not going to say I was disappointed with this movie because I had a good time with it and it was very unique, very original. But I feel like it was a weird experience that ended in like a very anticlimactic way. Yeah. And then also I forgot they had a dog. There was a dog in the beginning of this movie. Where'd he go? I guess he was cuckoo bait, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, what do they eat? We didn't go into anything. We don't know anything. Hamburgers? Like, what are we doing? Are there any men that are born? Are they all women?
Are they all women? Good questions. I feel like
that's why I was like, yeah. But sometimes I have to be careful because I want too many answers.
It's true.
And then it becomes a history book. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to know every answer.
Because then we get something like The Watchers, where Madeline's over here giving us a story time of like, well, there was a man and a woman who loved each other. So I get there has to be some mystery. Yeah. But then whenever we're going through so many different layers, but also not understanding anything about it, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So what really was going on?
Yeah. Or at least if like Gretchen did some research and found, they like looked through, just like Bella in Twilight. Did you ever see that? Mm-hmm. When she's like, what is he? She's like, on the internet. I know what he is. Like, we didn't get any type of research monologue where she's like trying to figure out what could be, or, like an old lady that's like, beware. She's like, what? Like, that's really basic, but you know what I mean? Like something, because if it's probably some kind of ancient lore that she could find and get and read up on, and we didn't get that. It was just very like running around.
Or even if she found like, or heard something from like the scientists where they're like talking a little bit more about like, this is an experiment on this and this and this. Because that's why I didn't know if this was an ancient being or if this was something they made on purpose. Like, that's where I wish there was like a little bit more of like, oh, this is the background a little bit. Like, we don't have to get everything. But if we just got a snippet, I would be satisfied. Alas. Hayley, what do you give this movie?
I think I give this a 3.5, maybe a 4 out of 5.
Whoa.
I really like this movie.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Dang. What did you like about it?
I just thought it was just a fascinating concept, and I was very interested in like the mystery behind it all. So I do think there were some like issues with it, but I feel like I liked it better than some of the other ones that I give like a 3. So I think I have to push up. So at least a 3.5. Maybe in a 4 if I'm just going off of like pure entertainment, like la 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 la. Yeah. But I just feel like it's a lot different than what we've seen, and I think that it just was very intriguing for me personally. What about you?
I'm so unsure. Oh, no. I really wanted to rewatch this movie before we talked about it because I feel like there's so much happening. My first instinct is that I did like this movie. I just wish I knew what was going on a little bit. And I feel like I was background a little bit. We did get there a little late, which I hate. And also my allergies were kicking my ass that day. I had to bring a box of tissues. And also we brought brownies, and like I couldn't breathe out of my nose at all, so I was eating the brownie and literally suffocating.
Breathe through your mouth because
I couldn't breathe.
Your mouth breathing and eating is crazy.
Tristan was like, Kayli, there's a few times where it was like kind of quiet, and all I heard was and I had a box of tissues with me blowing my nose trying to be quiet. I was really struggling.
Oh man.
So there's so much going on. Maybe it was the lack of oxygen going to my brain too that made me not understand what was happening.
It was a fever dream. You were dying.
I was low-key suffocating. So I think this one is definitely going to be a rewatch for me, which I mean, I'm excited to rewatch it. I think it was entertaining enough and unique enough where I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun and interesting. But like, I just don't know if this was like the perfect movie for me. Okay. But I guess I'm leaning towards a 3.
Okay.
A 3.
We'll let it sit.
A 3.
A what?
A 3.
Okay.
But yeah, it was cool to see Hunter Schafer though in this role. I just hate that she was literally getting her ass beat the entire movie. Like,
she was going through it
entire time. Like, not only emotionally with the loss of her mother.
That's crazy.
And the turmoil of her family. And then also like apparently like Alma was supposed to be a twin. And I was reading some people's theories of like, oh, this was like the first sign that she was a cuckoo because she absorbed the twin.
Yeah, right. I would agree with that for sure.
So I think that's pretty interesting. And like also like when Alma like called Gretchen's mom, was like, hey, can you please like come visit us or call her back? Like, she's really sad.
That was sweet.
That was so. I was like, see, Gretchen, just be nice to her. She doesn't fucking know what's going on.
She didn't ask to be here.
She don't want to be here at all.
Especially like that.
Girl.
That's crazy.
But yeah, if you just want to help preserve natural habitations.
Or if you like cuckoos.
Then you'll love our Instagram at Hayley and Kayli. We also have a TikTok at Hayley and Kayli where we post other content that's not always movie related. And that's all I can think of. Hayley, what else do we have?
Well, if you're watching us now, you probably already know we have a YouTube channel at Hayley and Kayli. We also have an email at presspodcast@gmail.com if you want to message us any comments, questions, concerns, movies we should watch next, etc.
Let us know what you thought about this one down below in the comments. Were you cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs for this one? Tell us what you thought about this one. Have you seen the other movie by, I think his last name is Singer. I think it's like Tillman Singer is the director's name.
I'll have to check that one out.
Let us know what you think about that one. But anyways, I don't know what we're watching next.
Until next time.
You'll see when we see.
Bye.
Bye.